My dance teacher said I'd never dance again after losing my sight. The judges disagreed. I started losing my vision when I was 16, some genetic thing the doctors couldn't fix. By 17, I was completely blind. I'd been dancing since I was 5 years old. Ballet, jazz, contemporary, you name it. Dance was my whole life. I had scholarships lined up, competitions every month, the works. When I lost my sight, my dance teacher, Miss Patricia, sat me down in her office. She held my hand and said, "Honey, I think it's time to accept that your dancing career is over. You can't dance if you can't see." I asked her why not. She said, "How are you going to learn choreography? How will you know where you are on stage? What if you run into someone?" I told her I'd figure it out. She just squeezed my hand and said, "Sometimes we have to let go of our dreams. It's part of growing up." I left her studio that day and cried for hours. My mom found me in my room and asked what was wrong. I told her what Miss Patricia said. My mom got quiet for a minute, then she said, "Do you want to quit?" I said no. She said, "Then don't. We'll find another way." The next week, my mom found this studio across town run by a guy named Coach Mike. He used to choreograph for touring companies. My mom explained my situation on the phone. He said, "Bring her in. Let's see what we can do." I was nervous walking into that studio for the first time. Coach Mike had me stand in the center and just feel the space. He played music and told me to move however felt natural. After about 10 minutes, he stopped the music and said, "You're not dancing blind. You're dancing with your eyes closed. There's a difference." He spent the next 6 months teaching me how to use the entire studio. We put textured tape on the floor so I could feel where I was. He'd clap or snap to show me where other dancers were positioned. He taught me to count music differently, to feel rhythm through the floor. It was hard at first. I fell a lot. I crashed into mirrors twice, but slowly I started getting it. Coach Mike said, "Your body knows how to dance. We just have to teach it a new language." By the time I turned 18, I was performing again. Small shows, nothing crazy. Then Coach Mike told me about this regional competition coming up. He said, "I think you should enter." I laughed and said, "Yeah, right. Who's going to vote for a blind dancer?" He said, "Let them decide that, not you." So I entered. My routine was a contemporary piece to this piano song I loved, 3 minutes long. I practiced it 1,000 times until I could do it in my sleep. Competition day came and I was terrified. Backstage, I could hear the other dancers warming up. They all sounded so confident, so put together. I almost backed out. Coach Mike found me sitting in the hallway and said, "What are you doing?" I told him I didn't belong here. He said, "You've worked harder than anyone in that room. Now get up and show them." When they called my number, I walked onto that stage. I couldn't see the audience, but I could feel them watching. The music started and I just let go. I hit every mark, every turn, every leap. When the music stopped, there was silence for like 2 seconds. Then the entire audience started clapping. I mean, really clapping. I could hear people standing up. I walked off stage shaking. 3 hours later, they announced the winners. Third place, some girl from a studio downtown. Second place, a guy who did this crazy hip-hop routine. Then the announcer said, "And first place goes to competitor number 47. That was me. Coach Mike grabbed my arm and said, "That's you. Go." I walked up on stage and they handed me this trophy. It was heavy and had my name engraved on it. The head judge came up to me after and said, "I've been judging dance competitions for 20 years. That was one of the most beautiful performances I've ever seen. You didn't just dance. You felt every single second of that music." I thanked her and asked if she knew I was blind before I performed. She said no, but it wouldn't have mattered. Talent is talent. I still have that trophy on my shelf. And yeah, I never went back to Miss Patricia's studio. Last I heard, she saw a video of my performance online. Never reached out though, but that's fine. Some people can't see past limitations. I'm just glad I found people who could.